So I'm going to preface this. I started recording a little late on this, but I'm playing Lucio on Lijiang Tower. The first one's the night market level, I think. The first round, at least. Uh, and what we're going to do is I'm telling my team to just funnel onto point as soon as possible. And I'm going to start the video now.
I think we kind of needed a Pharaoh.
I always feel like that getting point control immediately is a lot better than like trying to funnel to the left. Here you see the Reaper. He comes in and he's a little bit alone. Their team didn't really didn't try to get point control, and I'm just trying to provide a very hard target for him to hit. The D.Va comes in alone, and they're with the Genji. Then the Roadhog funnels in from the right. I'm just trying to keep the team at full health. I'm trying to get this Genji, make him keep his aim messed up. Always just be that little fly in his ear. I'm gonna try to bump in the D.Va, but I miss it, but she ends up jumping in anyway. What you want to do with Lucio's bump is, if the target's dangerous, you want to bump him away from your team. If he's weak, you want to bump him towards your team. Because in the case of that Diva's a very, D.Va outside of her mech is very weak. So bumping her towards the team would, easy pick. But if it was like a Reaper with ult, bump him away from your team. Here the 76 does a really dumb thing and jumps in alone. I'm going to make it this way because I see the Tracer, but then Tracer's a little farther away than I expected. And I tell my team not to hold that, right side a little too hard. And I just overextend here. I don't want him to hold that right side very hard because I can get a solid bump, but if they're right there next to me, if I fail and I don't knock anything off the edge, they can just be right there behind me. But the Mei plays ahead of me, and I end up missing the bump. Because that they have heal advantage, and then they end up winning. I try to save the D.Va, but the D.Va doesn't get out in time, so I just back off. I tell the Tracer not to go into the fight because we need numbers. And here you're gonna see a huge mistake. Right now it's 5v6, or it's gonna be 5v6. We have 4 up. Zarya's coming in, and here I just ult. I don't even call it out. This is a big mistake on my part. And then on top of that, we had no advantage. We had no player advantage. All we had was an ult, and the ult dissipated by the time we got on the point where it matters. And then this Genji just could crush us. He comes in with an ult, finishes it off. The only good thing we got out of that is they used a couple ults, but we used a couple ults, so we just ended up on the short stick of that. So I'm just waiting. So here I'm going to try something. They're putting some pressure on us. I'm trying to get some ult charge, bump away the Reaper. Now I see we have both tanks up, and we have a full team. And here they make a mistake. They make a big mistake. They bring 2 people out alone against the full team. I bump off the Reaper. We pick the Roadhog. So we just have a free choice to just walk in. This Zarya gets a decent ult off, but then Mei saves it with her wall. McCree, he ults here, and he gets a little bit of a pick, and then this 76 just was jacking around. He wasn't on the fight, and then he comes in with an ult and wastes it.
Don't push too far.
Right here, my team's overextending a bit. The Tracer's fine, but the McCree and the D.Va aren't, but I call him back. I would say the Roadhog's overextending in here. Here, I say let's chase down the Zarya because she's weak, and we end up losing the Roadhog because of that. So we have to play back. Our Tracer's low on health, so we're just gonna stay, and we don't have too much point presence. Here, both their tanks come in, and I have to ult there. I have to ult. We have 4 people on it, but they have 2 tanks coming in. They're right in my face. I didn't want to give up heal advantage. The Mei saves it with her ult. And that was a final push, and I put down some pretty decent damage on the Zarya and helped pick her off. And the Genji picked me, and he picks me all this whole game. But luckily, I did enough damage, and I kept the team alive long enough to put it to a 2v1, and the Genji just eventually dies, and we win from overtime. Now this is the tower sequence. I don't know, or the tower map. I don't know what the proper name is. I like this one as Lucio. You can jump around. You can have like there's those low walls where you can jump around. You can get on top of this little platform. You can play a lot, and you can be very mobile as Lucio. Provide a very hard target. Here we're doing a Roadhog and Diva combo. Roadhog has been is a little weak now because of the new Diva buff, but we're gonna make do with it.
I'm going to.
Here I'm trying to tell the McCree to get on top and get some high ground advantage, but he doesn't really do that very much. So I'm switching over to my heals, and I notice we're getting bullied out of the point, but then my team, they funnel in from the left, and their whole team went directly onto the point. And what we could do from there is we could just kind of bully them and push them into the wall, and they had no escape. And then that Winston, he made a huge mistake jumping into the whole team, and he gave us a free pick. Because even though you have 500, like, as I say with tanks, just because you have a lot of health doesn't mean you should play like you have a lot of health. Don't do the really risky stuff just because you might get out of there with 100 health left. Because you just fed 800 health worth of ult to the other team. Here the Mei overextends. I save her. I try to do my best. Here they're starting to bully. They're trying to bully us out of this hallway, and I don't like it. The Pharah gets a nice flank off of us, but I start shutting it down. If the Pharah was a little more skilled, she probably could have really done some damage and picked me. But she ends up missing. Mei fucks up. Mei fucks up a little bit. We're getting pushed out from on top, and we're gonna force into the wall. I'm putting some heals down. And we isolate the 76, and I'm gonna put my shield down because our health was getting low, and I felt the push coming on. A lot of Lucio's just doing what feels right, but then they focus fire me with 2 ults, and I had 0 chance. We give up heal advantage, and they just end up beating us out. Here, we kind of make a mistake. We go in 3, but we made a mistake immediately going in. But now that I realize, it probably helped us win the game because it was like this 3-man push. And even though we lost a healer and we used 1 ult because the McCree, I don't know what the McCree was doing, but they end up using 2 to 3 of their ults just to take out 3 of us. So we actually end up coming out with even ults with this, and we can launch a push with if we get some picks. So we come in the left side. I'm trying to get some damage. I see the Diva's just getting beaten on by this by the Mei. I figure it's an easy way to get some free picks and some free ult. I'm getting I'm getting bullied out here. I barely make it out. Get my shield up. I see 3 to 4 people on the point. I wasn't at least 3 in my peripherals, and I figure I'm gonna shield up and use this advantage. I'm gonna try to put down as much damage on the Diva as I can. As a Lucio, you can put a lot of damage down on Divas. But then this Genji, I don't know who on my team was feeding him ult, but he was just putting down a lot of damage. And he was doing really great. He was getting really good picks on me. But my team we still had a huge player advantage, so my team ends up winning anyway.
I think if everyone just would like butt in and get 1 shot on him, then we could probably kill him before he killed their whole team.
Yeah. I see the Reaper, he's just gonna come in. I'm gonna try to bully him, get some damage. I see there's like 3v1, so I'm gonna get out there and I'm healer. Poor little healer, you know. Diva's frozen. Switch off. She wastes her ult. She doesn't really get anything out of that. She gets a little positioning with her team. I try to heal up. Our team's getting low on health, but I'm trying to put down damage where I can. This is just a team fight. I'm just trying to stay alive. The best thing you need to do is, Lucio, stay alive. And here, I figure my team's going to focus fire with the shield, but they don't. I try to get some, you know... I try to get some aggro since I had, you know, 600 health, but just my team did not focus fire at all. My team was pretty bad at focus firing.
Reaper and Genji behind.
So, the D.Va tries to contest really stupidly. It's a 2v6, 3v6 maybe. So I'm just going to wait. Our Roadhog switches off to Reaper, which I think is a good plan. And then this Reaper comes in. He wastes his ult, and we just fuck him in the corner. 76 heals up all of us, and we just push in. We have a player advantage, and I think we have some ult advantage. D.Va gets picked. They're down half a player. Mei fucks up her ult, but Zarya couldn't capitalize off her ult. Our D.Va comes around, and we just start getting some... We start cleaning up, but this Genji's still going around, and I barely survive. I start spinning around, providing a hard target, and I just ult, try to get the... You know, pick off the last remnants, and we end up winning. I don't think we needed the ult, but I figured it was a good time to use it.
Good job, guys.
If that Tracer came in and actually contested it, we might have had an issue, but she didn't.
2-0.
So here I am. I'm gonna get on this one. I'm gonna get some. I can really. This is gonna show you how big healer advantage and how big picks are. My team. I think my team is gonna end up losing here. Mostly because they get really good. They get lucky picks, and they get heal advantage in key situations. Or they get one lucky pick. I think they actually get a good pick. I'm actually gonna tell my team to go left because of that far. Because there's the idea of far you can jump up and you can see the other team's bridge and knock them off. I tell my team to go left. Also, one, because we have a bunch of good close range characters like Roadhog, like Mei, Reaper, D.Va. So we can go into the left. So if we go left, we get an advantage. And here we get a free pick off this. We get a free pick off Zarya, and we get a free pick off Reaper. Zarya gets picked by the Pharah doing her cheese. And then, since we have this player advantage, their Junkrat just jumps off the edge or something, and we just take advantage of this 4-man player advantage, and this, we win. And this Lucio, he tries to be cheeky, but it ends up not working. Because I told my team I know all the tricks with Lucio, so I told them that he was up there, and they just took him out. Here, I'm trying to get some cheeky bumps off. And the Pharah misses her bump, and then I miss the bump off the... Misses her knockback, and I miss the bump with the Zarya. I see the Roadhog. I'm going to get out of his range. He misses his hook, so I can get a little aggressive, but I'm not going to because of the Junkrat. I call the team over. D.Va comes in. She puts down cover. And we're taking a lot of damage here, probably from the Junkrat. We knock off the Roadhog, and then the Genji fall. Their whole team is just falling off the cliff. This Winston jumps in alone. It was a really dumb mistake because it was 5v1. Their Junkrat kind of just shoots onto the point for the next 2 minutes. I call him out. The Tracer tries to deal with it, but she's getting spammed in. And here they're coming in a little bit of a force on the left. I call the ult. Because I felt the push coming on. I ult a little too late, or a little too early there. Actually, quite a bit too early. And here I get isolated because of the Roadhog ult, and the Reaper catches onto it. And I couldn't get the health, and I get picked. They have heal advantage, they start getting picks, and we end up losing. Of course, they used 4 ults there, and we have 3 up. We have 3 or 4. So I tell the teams, just wait. I'm going to move forward a little bit. See the Roadhog. I don't want to get hooked, so I run back. I provide a hard target. Don't let him hook me. He wastes his hook, so I'm going to go left with the Reaper, but then I see 3 people going right, so I'm going to go right this time. Then the... The Mei gets a pretty decent ult and freezes up half the area. I'm gonna keep just jumping along. Try to avoid the Genji. We start trading some picks, but we're up 3. So I figure we're gonna be fine. And all that's left is their Genji. And we pick the Genji. I'm gonna see. The good thing is they contested long enough for us to them to not capture, or us to not capture. We get our ult. I try to take out the Lucio. We take out the Lucio, and then this Reaper, and it's just this constant, annoying freaking funnel on, and then they get the lucky pick off me. I bump the Junkrat off. He fires off a random shot, didn't even aim at me, and kills me. So then we give up heal advantage because they have their healer back. They come in with full health, and I see 3 up. I'm trying to ult. One person dies before I can, and then the Junkrat ult kills the other 2. So, and then I get just annihilated here. And then I think my team just starts funneling in. You can see how close we came to capturing. So they did a good job at just prolonging it. It really was that Junkrat pick that won him the game here. Or won him the round. And here I just kind of forget which way I'm going. I have to contest. It's the only thing I can do. I get on. I see 5. I try to jump up there, but then they just surround me and match ends. So that derpy Junkrat ended up accidentally saving the game for him. So now we're back on Night Market. I like this one. So this one ends up going really well for my team. I'm pretty sure I just tell the team to go for point control again. Immediate point control there, and just take advantage of the disorganization. Their whole team was pretty disorganized, and they were doing those 3-man pushes. And this D.Va starts complaining about how I'm not getting healed, and I've been doing some pretty good healing the whole game. And here we pick the Roadhog. We're getting the picks. We have the advantage right now. The Mei kind of wastes her ice block. I'm trying to zone out the Zanji. Don't let him on the point. I'm not going to chase in after that. I'm not going to go and chase the D.Va and make sure she stays alive. She wants to jump in alone. That's fine. I think she ends up getting a pick. But now we're down to half a player. We don't have a tank, we just have a bad tracer. I hear the Pharah get hooked here, so I know there's a Roadhog, and then I just bump him off. You gotta listen to your audio cues here. That was a solely audio cue. Here I'm getting some spam by the Junkrat. I don't know why that McCree missed, but I know their whole team's funneling in. I'm just gonna ult. Get any heal advantage. I was just trying to stay out. I think I heard something that made me stay out. Trying to keep this Reaper just capped. And the Genji, he does his ult, but he's weak, so I figure I can jump after him and I melee him in the air. All that's left is the Roadhog. I'm trying to bump him away, bump him off, make sure he doesn't get he's not in close range. Junkrat ends up getting picked, and I just heal up the D.Va. So now they have time for about one more good solid push. So I tell the Tracer to stay alive and just not get picked. She says yes. My team's a little clumped up here, and then I notice them going left. So I figured they would see that and they would go left, so I go left. They do the ults, I bump them out. I bump away the Reaper towards my team, and then he and then my team takes care of them. They were pretty on point on that. Good focus fire. And then I bring the shield in because we had bad health, and it was about equal. So I figure I better put us in health advantage, and then we just finish out this Genji, and game's over.
Good game.
Good game.
So they had a pretty decent final push, but we ended up. But because I saved my ult till the end there, because as Lucio, knowing when to hold your ults is very important, and it's a lot like Zarya. It's a lot like Zarya shields. It's just you have to predict well. And I knew the push. I felt that we could. I felt that we shouldn't use the ult until we really needed it, and it ended up working out in our favor.